Hi guys, Nick here, Thrive Entrepreneur. Today we're going to be going through the Elegant Business Model course. This is one of my favorites because it really shows you how to increase your bottom line without spending any extra money on marketing. So in Module 1, we're going to cover the traditional model. So that's how we've been doing business for the past hundreds, if not thousands of years. Module 2, we're going to cover the Elegant Business Model. So that's the model that we use in all of our businesses and the model that we recommend the business owners that we work with. Module 3, we're going to create your elegant business model. We're actually going to put that together for you in this course. So I'd encourage you to go through this course with an open mind. Also pull out your pen and paper because you're going to want to scribble some stuff down, take some notes. And then when we come to create your elegant business model, we want you to craft that while you're here with us. Module 4, we're going to create your campaigns. So once we've actually mapped out your elegant business model, we want to share those new products, new services, that new model with your current customers and maybe even some of your suspects who aren't yet prospects. We'll show you ways to do that. And then if you stick around to the end, we're going to show you how to add an extra 25% to your bottom line without spending a cent on marketing. So let's jump into it. Now, we always believe your best customer is your current customer. I remember one of my mentors, when I first started doing any type of business work, it was actually personal training in the park. One of my personal training mentors said to me, your best customer is your current customer. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, the customer who's already purchased from you already knows, likes, and trusts you and your brand, so they're more likely to purchase from you again in the future. So we try to follow this frame of thought all the way through as we're creating our elegant business model, and we're showing you through this course. And really the key is if you increase the life of your customer, you increase your profits. So let's jump into the traditional model, Module 1 here. Now we've got a big bucket, and essentially traditional business is like this example here. If you imagine you've got a big bucket, you've got a whole bunch of people, they come in through the top of the bucket, and then out the bottom, a lot of them are just basically there's a hole in the bottom of your bucket, and you're losing customers almost as fast as you're gaining them. And I've seen this happen in a lot of businesses. Now let me take you back to the first time I joined the gym. I remember I walked in there, I heard the loud music, I saw all these fit people walking around, I felt really uncomfortable, kind of nervous. Never been in that sort of situation before. This big guy comes up and he says, yep. And I said, hey, I'm here to inquire about getting a gym membership here. And he's like, okay, fill this out, go sit over there, someone will be with you shortly. And I was like, okay, a little bit abrupt, didn't exactly make me feel any more comfortable. Anyway, so I completed a bit of this form. Somebody came in and sat down with me and they said, all right, well, here's our gym membership prices. If you sign up today, you get a gym towel, water bottle, and a bag. I was like, okay, I'll get the free stuff. I already wanted to sign up anyway, but if I was somebody who was on the fence, I may not have signed up. I may not have been able to justify the price of the gym membership because I'd never been before. I didn't know if I'd like it. I didn't know if the instructors were friendly, whatever it is. So this is a traditional model. It's a little bit harder for people to get started compared to the elegant business model, which I'm going to show you soon. But let's show you a few other examples other than a gym. So I've worked with dentists, and I worked with one particular dentist, and his service was a lot like my experience when I was 20 years old. That was my first time going to a dentist after school, because here in New Zealand, of course, you get free dental up until 18 years old. Anyway, so I went into the dental clinic for my appointment. The dentist checked my teeth and he thought I might have had a cavity, so he did some x-rays, and turns out I didn't have any issues, so I just walked out of there. Now, one of the dentists I recently worked with, when I first started working with him, he actually had his business set up pretty much the same way. And so, even if you're not offering teeth cleaning, for example, then you're losing some money there. And so really he just had people falling out of the bottom of his bucket. He was just losing money. where he could have actually been making it with the same amount of people that were coming through his business each week. So we're going to be showing you how to do that, of course. Also, traditional chiropractor model. I haven't actually been to a chiropractor, but my wife has been a lot of times, a lot of different chiropractors. Usually they work with people who have, back issues, but what most people don't realize is that chiropractors actually are trained in the health and wellness of the entire body. So joints and bones, not just backs, but different areas of the body. They do a 4-year, sometimes longer, study. So usually my wife, she'd go into a chiropractor. I remember one time she was over in Australia. We're over in Australia at the time. And the chiropractor literally took like less than 15 minutes from when she walked in the door to when she walked out. And that, if she's churning through, 4 or more people an hour and she's charging $50 per session, then I can see why some chiros would set up that way. It's a high volume of people, and you're getting a pretty high charge out rate. However, there's of course other things that you can do. One example of traditional chiro, this particular chiro, she was just doing adjustment, but a lot of chiropractors would sit down with someone, find out about what their issues were, what their problems were, what they wanted to achieve. So they go through the consultation process, and then they're going to do some x-rays, they're going to do a massage, maybe a massage, and then perhaps an adjustment. Same with a hair salon. So we've all had a haircut before. If you're a guy like me, I tend not to get anything done other than an actual cut. So I'm a pretty quick customer. Pop into the hair salon. Just the other day I was in there. I asked for my usual hairstyle, and I got somebody who hadn't done that style before. So the guy took a little bit longer, but in the end it was still the exact same price no matter how long the hairdresser took. But usually with hair salons, if you have a hair salon or whatever type of business you have, I'm just going through these as examples for you so you can sort of jog your memory of how this, how your business relates to the traditional model. Anyway, so you go to a hair salon, and some of the ladies will get a cut and a color. Some people will also buy the hair products like shampoos and conditioners. But essentially after that, there's nothing extra that you're necessarily upselling people on. Then we've got a traditional restaurant model. My wife and I actually went to Tatu B'nai recently. We walked in there on Saturday night. We'd made an appointment for a table. We sat down. We ordered an entree and a main. They came out. That was fantastic. They asked if we wanted dessert. I think we actually got the pizza and the pasta. Really good. And we had a look over the dessert menu, but my wife's, she can't have dairy, and all the dessert options had dairy in them. So in this case, we skipped out on the dessert. And, that could potentially be a lost sale there for the restaurant, not having a dairy-free option. So that's really what I wanted to cover here with a traditional model, and regardless of whether you have this type of business that I've covered, whether it be a restaurant or a dentist or a chiro or gym or whatever type of business, or a beauty salon, similar to a hair salon, regardless, what's usually happening is with the traditional model, I'm not saying it's a bad way to do business, I'm just saying that if you move over to restructuring your business as the elegant business model, it doesn't mean you have to really change anything that you're doing. It just means you're putting new systems in place to gain more sales and more profits with your existing customers. Wouldn't that be great? Being able to take your existing customers and make even more money without having to spend any extra on marketing. So that's really what we're wanting to do. So with the traditional model, it is typically high cost. If you want to go see a chiropractor and they're running a traditional model, it might cost you $100 for a consultation plus an adjustment. And if you've never been to a chiro before, you'll be thinking questions like, I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if this person's any good. I don't know if they've got good reviews or good feedback. There's all these questions. There's all these unknowns. Usually with a traditional model, it's hard to trial. So whether it be a restaurant or whether it's a hair salon, it's you gotta take a chance, right? You gotta pull out your wallet, pay them some money, take a chance, see if it works out. If it doesn't, you leave a bad review and tell your friends how horrible it was. I'm sort of joking. We've all had, I'm sure we've all had experiences like that. We've had a bad experience somewhere. But then if you think back to a time when you've had a really good experience, of course, it encourages you to come back. But then again, the income's typically linear. So if you're a chiropractor and you're offering adjustments, then you're still trading your own time for money, an hour for $1. Whether you've got a restaurant, so you're also, you're trading staff costs and preparation, etc. So it's quite linear in the income. There's not really a passive reoccurring aspect. And then we've got the retention isn't always the best with a traditional model, because your customers will get your product or get your service and they might like it, but there's nowhere else for them to go. When they come to see you, when they come to your business, that's what they get. So I'd like you to have a think about the traditional model, how it relates to your business. If you're already operating this way, open your mind now, have a little bit of a think, maybe open your notebook, pull out your pen, because we're going to go into the elegant business model.